Welcome back to NB Media and Content. Today I'll be featuring the 2023 Hyundai Kona. Starts from $30,000 and this is the type of vehicle you should consider if you're looking at things like the Toyota Corolla Cross, Nissan Qashqai and the Kia Seltos. And in this review I will tell you everything you need to know about it. I'm going to run you through its model grades, talk about the design, the changes to the interior. I'll also try out its technology, see how practical it is, and then I'm going to drive it. If you get value out of my videos, please give it a like, share and subscribe. Now the Kona model grades are a free variant to choose from, and it's also available with the N-Line option package. It is available in 4 powertrains, as you can see on your screen, as well as hybrid and full electric variants coming very soon. Today I'll be featuring the entry model Kona grade thanks to Southern Highland Hyundai, who are located in Vale. If you would like to get in contact with them on your next car purchase, I've listed their details in the description below. Let's talk about the exterior design of the Hyundai Kona. So like the previous generation, it really stands out on the road and looks very futuristic. I like what they've done with the design. You have this full LED light bar at the front. It also has full LED headlights engraved into the wheel arch cladding, and you have some additional cladding on the front bumper bar. If we move on to the side view of the Hyundai Kona, as you can see it features 18-inch two-tone brushed aluminium and gloss black wheels, additional body cladding around the wheel arches to give it that rugged off-road look, and lastly you have these brushed aluminium roof racks. And moving towards the redesign of the Kona, as you can see it features a full LED light bar at the back, as well as additional lights engraved into the body cladding. You've also got this boot lid spoiler up here finished in this brushed aluminium, as well as some additional body cladding along the bumper bar. And in terms of colours, there are 6 to choose from. This one is finished in Atlas White, which is a no-cost option, and the rest are $695 extra. Moving on to the interior inside the new Kona. For a base model car, it's got all of the essentials. It does feel bigger inside than the previous generation, and it still looks very modern. And that brings me on to build quality, so everything feels fairly sturdy. You have durable materials across the cabin, leather wrapped steering wheel, really comfortable obsidian black cloth fabric seats, and they also offer plenty of adjustment. You can sit nice and high and get very comfortable behind the wheel. The steering offers both tilt and reach adjustment. Now moving on to the infotainment. It all runs off this 12.3-inch touchscreen display. You have physical buttons down here and knobs for the tuner and volume, and for the dual zone climate control that also has physical buttons, and you also have physical buttons on the steering wheel. But if you do decide to use the touchscreen, it is a fairly simple system to work out. Everything is very responsive and the layout is very clear. And in terms of features, it has AM, FM, DAB radio, as well as smartphone mirroring, a 6-speaker sound system, wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. And I just wanted to mention, in this entry-level Kona grade you don't get inbuilt satellite navigation, but that's not a problem with the smartphone mirroring, as you can have Waze and Google Maps, which is way better than inbuilt satellite navigation. And that brings me on to safety assistance features. So we'll start with the steering wheel. You have radar guided cruise control with a lane keeping assistant, and that means this car has the ability to steer itself within the lane. You've also got blind spot monitors on the wing mirrors. You've also got autonomous emergency braking for pedestrian and cyclists, as well as a driver fatigue monitor. So there's a sensor above the steering wheel column. You also get an auto dimming reversing mirror. And lastly, you have a reversing camera with front and rear parking sensors and parking guidelines, as well as different angles to select, so you have a wide view and a towing view. Right ahead of me is a 4.2-inch digital display, and using this button here you can cycle through the different menus, trip information, the assistance menu. In the premium grade you do get a bigger screen and more configuration, but for everyday driving it shows you everything you need to know. You could also change the drive modes with this switch here, changing it from Eco, Normal and Sport. And lastly, moving on to practicality. So the glove box, that is a decent size. You've also got some additional storage up here, and a wireless phone charging pad with 2 USB-C fast chargers and a 12-volt socket. And when you push this button here, you can swap it from USB-A to USB-C. And in the center, 2 large cup holders that fit my litter of water just fine. And on the doors, large bottle holders. And for center storage, there is a coin slot with an open glove box. Moving on to the back seats inside the Hyundai Kona. So as this second generation has increased in size, therefore rear passengers have more room. So I'm a full-size adult, the seat is in my driving position, and I've got good knee room, head room and good toe room. And if I slide over into the middle seat, again, good toe room, knee room and good head room. Some additional key features I see include rear map pockets, air conditioning vents, 2 USB-C fast chargers, and a spot here for a mobile phone, as well as a fold-down armrest with 2 small cup holders. On the doors, a spot there for a small bottle of water. And lastly, for baby seats on these 2 outboard seats, they are ISOFIX compatible, and right behind me, 3 top tether points. Okay, moving on to the boot space. So as I mentioned, the Kona has increased in size, and the overall capacity of the boot is 407 litres. And from what we can see, there's a nice wide opening, a nice flat floor, so that makes it easy loading items into the boot, as well as some tie-down hooks, the additional side pockets on either side of the boot floor. And on the petrol models, a space-saver spare tyre, which is nice to see. No run-flat tyres leaving you stranded on the side of the road. And for additional space, you can drop the second row down, giving you a total of 1200 litres. So what we've learned so far, the Kona has increased in size, and it is therefore more practical than the previous generation. Let's now move on to the powertrain. So under the bonnet, the variant I'm featuring has the naturally aspirated SmartStream G20 petrol inline 4-cylinder, mated to a CVT transmission, and power is sent to the front wheels, producing 110 kilowatts and 180 newton meters of torque. And on a combined cycle, Hyundai claims this will achieve 6.6 litres per 100. So let's get it out on the road and see how it performs. Okay, moving on to driving impressions, starting with parking. So I'm going to flick it into reverse. The reversing camera appears, and I've got good all-round visibility with the mirrors, and scratch the wheels. Okay, that's easy to do. And to prove that was easy, there's the Land Cruiser in front of me, and there's the gutter. So anyone can get in and drive this car. In terms of darting around town, it's got good all-round visibility and a really good turning circle. Look at that. So although the Kona has grown in size, it doesn't feel like a big car to drive. It still feels very small and nimble. And in terms of performance, this engine I think has more than enough power for everyday driving, especially in the city, and I'm currently averaging 6.6 litres per 100. That's a mix of town and country driving. And in terms of the overall driving position, you can jack it up nice and high, giving you an even clearer view of your surroundings. So if that's important to you, the car does feel high up on the ground, and it does have good ground clearance. Not so much for off-roading, more for clearing driveways, things like that, the gutter. So if that's within your needs, the Kona is perfect. So with the driving impressions out of the way, let's now wrap up the video with a verdict. What do I think overall about the latest generation Kona? Compared to other cars in the segment, it definitely does stand out in terms of its design. This base model also comes very well equipped, and this newest generation is more practical than the last one. So I hope you got value out of this video. I do a mixture of new and old car reviews based in Sydney, so please like, share and subscribe for my latest car content, and I'll see you in the next film.